Hi, I'm John Longstreet, and welcome to another edition of PRLA Short Takes. I'm excited to have with me today Mr. Derek Beckman. Derek is on the Pennsylvania Restaurant and Lodging Association board. He chairs the Lodging and Tourism Committee, or co-chairs the Lodging and Tourism Committee, and he's vice president of the Greater Philadelphia Hotel Association. And then for his day job, Derek works for Marriott International, running the Courtyard by Marriott Philadelphia South at the Navy Shipyard. Derek, thanks for taking a minute to be with us today.
No, it's great to be here, John. Thank you so much for the invite.
Times have changed a lot in our world, for sure. Hotels that typically run about 65-70% statewide in Pennsylvania are now running in the single digits in occupancy. A well-run hotel might be able to break even at 50% occupancy. So obviously, times are changing a lot. And I know from our conversations that you've had to change the way you do business in your hotel. And there's a lot less team members there than there were before this started. How has that impacted your day?
Sure. I think that the first and foremost, it was getting into this whole pandemic. The hardest part of my day job was having to tell people, we don't have employment for you. We dropped from having, like you said, being 80% all the way down to running in the single digits around 2%. So running with a team that ran from 60 down to a team that's running with 9 people, basically just covering the basics of the operation. And it's dramatically changed the way we do business. Before we had dedicated people doing dedicated tasks. And now it's, you're the person that's in the building and you're going to figure out how to do every single one of those tasks. So it's been a huge learning curve.
What are some examples of things you're now doing that you typically didn't do as general manager of the hotel?
Sure. So it's everything from cleaning rooms, cleaning the public space, constantly keeping refreshed, handling maintenance tasks, at points being the clerk at the desk, at points, being the AR person, the accounts payable person, doing all of those tasks where normally there'd be a team doing those things. And again, we're just, okay, how do we pay a bill? Now, there are people that are still employed with me that luckily know a little bit more than I do on some of the daily operational things. But again, it's been a learning process of, well, that was done by somebody else. Who's going to do it now? And it's been very tricky to figure those things out.
I'm guessing it's been a few years since you regularly made rooms up too.
It definitely has been a few years. It definitely reminds me of my beginning of my career days.
Yeah, that's all I always used to say when I was running a hotel. That's probably the toughest job in the hotel is the room attendant. So it's crazy. I talked with you the other day, and you were on your way home because you had stayed in the hotel over the weekend so that others didn't have to be there. What's that like? A weekend MOD, manager on duty?
Sure. So it's, we're doing what we need to do to make sure that people can take time off, that even with our limited staff, to make sure that we're covered in the building, that things are running smoothly. But it's hard. It's a hard fact that you're taking time away from your family or away from doing things to make sure that your business is successful and surviving through this time. The ultimate world is that we get back to normal where we have team members that can do those things and we have a staff that's robust enough to cover all those tasks on every single shift. But, when you get down to running a hotel that possibly has 3-4 rooms occupied, it becomes tricky on what is that staffing model going to look like? And how do you stay afloat during this time frame? And I assure you, we are not in the black.
The few guests that you have there, how are they reacting to the situation with you obviously running with a skeletal crew?
Sure. So a vast majority of my folks that are staying with me are essential workers or there for medical reasons. So they are very understanding and they actually are very impressed with how we're handling the situation. They see us out there doing that in-depth cleaning, that in-depth sanitation. At points it becomes a joke. They'll hit the elevator button and there we walk over and sanitize the elevator button. They walk back in from their car and they're going, I need to go back up, but I feel bad about pressing the elevator button again. And we're like, we got it. It's okay. Just you keep going. We're going to keep sanitizing right behind you.
Well, Derek, it's really interesting and somewhat scary to hear about how we have to operate these days. But the good news is that Marriott, along with many of the other brands, has signed on to the Safe Stay program with the HNLA and going above and beyond to ensure that when guests do come to you, that they're going to feel as comfortable as they could possibly be, that you're doing everything they can to keep them safe. So thank you for that. You guys have always been a leader in everything, and once again are showing that through this crisis.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we are definitely stepping it up and really, turned from cleanliness, which we've always had extremely clean and sanitized facilities, but really elevating it even more so. I mean, any of the businesses that run in food service have always been in that forefront of keeping things safe and sanitized. And now we're just really taking it to the next level.
Hey, Derek, thanks for taking the time to tell us what it's like today to run a hotel with 10% of the normal team you would have on staff, and what everybody's doing to make sure guests are safe when they're there. And also, I want to tell you how much we appreciate the fact that you volunteer so much time to this industry through your association, both with PRLA and the Greater Philadelphia Hotel Association. So thank you for your service, Derek. It's great to be with you today.
Thanks, John.
And that's it for another edition of PRLA Short Takes. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you again next time.